Hey guys,
Hello.
shaman. Who are you?
I'm your whiff.
You're my lovely wife, Yolanda. Shaman and Yolanda from The Connected Relationship.
Yeah.
And we're continuing this series on being the calm in the storm.
Yeah.
I mean, the idea behind that, kind of the whole thought, I guess context was like, it's a stressful time, holidays.
It's been something. It's been a year.
And it's a stressful year.
In case you haven't noticed, it's been a year.
And, you know, as we get into the holidays and things get more ratcheted up and, you know, life just seems to get more intense.
Yeah, the holidays are stressful time of year, period. And then
Right.
I think this year with all of the uncertainty and like just all of the uncertainty.
Right. We just kind of felt like we would talk about things that are calming.
Yeah, how your relationship can be like that safety, that place of safety and
Right, it should be.
calm and serenity and all of that kind of good stuff.
Right, but
how do you do it? Yeah.
Right, and I was going to say, what tends to happen, though, is like we go the opposite direction. Our relationship becomes the place of stress.
It's like when you have kids and they are so well behaved, like at school, and then they come home.
We never had
and
that.
they lose all of their crap. Our kids were angels. So how do we not lose our crap on our partner? I was reading through my journals from this year over the weekend. My entire goal for the month of August was not to lose my crap on people.
Me included?
Just in general. It's one of those years.
Don't lose my crap on people today.
Yeah, people like you better when you lose their crap.
So anyway, so we're going to talk about empathy.
Yeah, so today we're talking about empathy because it is like one of the foundation pieces of having your relationship be that calm in the storm, that safe place.
Right, empathy can really be a jumping off place for like closer connection.
Totally.
Right, and it's not sympathy.
No, so there are attributes to empathy. There's some key components of it, and the first one is perspective taking.
Right. You got to kind of pause for a second and look at where's this coming from? What's going on?
Yeah, if I were in my partner's shoes, yeah. If I were in my partner's shoes, knowing that these are some of the things that are going on, how would I feel? Yeah.
Right. And the second one is staying out of judgment.
Well, yeah, if this sounds familiar, it's because we talked about non-judgment last week.
We did, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
so funny how that keeps
that's
coming
a big
up.
one, though, right? Well, I mean, I don't think anything is more conflict driving than judging your partner.
Right. Like we said last week, that our brains read that as
threat. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's staying out of judgment. And as humans, I mean, we do have judgments.
Right.
I mean,
right.
In undergraduate and graduate school, I went through whole classes on how to recognize your own biases and judgments and that kind of stuff. So it's recognizing that those are there and then kind of taking a step back from that.
Right. And then there's like an emotional aspect, like recognizing the emotion.
Yeah, right. Recognizing the emotion that your partner might be experiencing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And it's not like doing anything about anything. It's like seeing it and recognizing it.
Yeah. And I think you said, you had just referenced there's a difference between empathy and sympathy. And I think that is a component of that, right? Empathy is, I'm feeling this with you, I'm present with you.
Right.
Sympathy is kind of like a higher up, kind of looking down, like, oh,
you're going through this thing. Let me see what I can do to figure out how to help you. Yeah. Maybe if I want to help you.
Well, and the interesting thing about being present with our partners during difficult times is that that's hard.
Right.
Like to see someone that you care about in struggle and in pain. Right. It's hard. So it's natural that we want to fix it.
Right. And if you're a fixer like me, I'm a fixer.
Well, I mean, that's, you and I have been through these experiences in our relationship where I'm going through a hard time and you're like, what do we need to do to fix this? And I'm like, I don't need to be fixed.
Right.
I'm not broken. And
I'm like, no, we've got to get back to status quo.
Let's get back to the time where you were like good.
Right. When things are awesome.
Well, yeah, but that's normal. I mean, that's how it's hard for us to see. It's very vulnerable for us to see someone that we care about in pain.
Right. And what I was going to say, for fixers, it's especially hard because you want to like just jump in there, do a couple things, fix it for them. And
wave the magic wand.
Right. And make it go away. Yeah. And that's not what empathy is about at all. you know.
So you have used this really amazing phrase, holding space.
When did I use that?
Well, I mean, just in your life, I've heard it come out of your mouth a time or two.
I use it.
Yeah. We were talking about Job.
Right.
So holding space is kind of a therapeutic phrase that in the therapy world, we're just like, it's our capacity to just be present.
Right, which is so much more empathy than sympathy. Just being there, showing up, non-judgmental, like we just said, willing to communicate, you know, more willing to listen.
Yeah.
And just say, yeah, this is tough.
Yeah. And a lot of times that's the like extent of the words, right? Man, this sucks.
Right, and there's no more that needs to be added to it. Just a
Right.
recognition of, okay, this is tough.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think this is kind of a big one when it comes to like trying to tamp down the stress of life right now as we get into the holidays and all this kind of stuff, that, you know, just empathizing with your partner, because so many weird things now come up, like all the stressors of relationships and families, and I've got to get the right gift for so-and-so and do all these things. It just keeps getting more ratcheted up.
Right.
And the ability to just kind of pause and say, yeah, this is tough. Let's take a breath.
Yeah.
Let's sit here for a minute.
Yeah. And it kind of conveying that, like, I'm here with you.
Right.
You're not in this alone.
We're on the same team.
Right.
As you say, we're in the boat together.
Yeah, we are. We're in the same boat together. That's what we want.
That's a thing we use a lot. Because actually,
It
what
is
I
a
hear a lot of
metaphor.
is, I'm in the boat by myself.
Well, yeah, this is a metaphor that came up for us
Right.
several years ago. I was doing some visual journaling, and I was like, how do I feel right now? I feel like I'm in this boat
All alone.
all alone, and I feel like, you know, and this is just the flux of relationships.
Right,
That's what
right,
happens, right? I'm in this boat, but you're over there, and I want you to be in my boat, but you're not, right? And so the things that we've been talking about, like being your relationship, being the calm in the storm, how do we get in the same boat together?
Right.
And it is just that, like, hey, we're here, we're together.
Right. No matter what, no judgment,
Right.
no action, maybe
Right.
even.
Oh,
Just
it's
together.
so hard to just kind of breathe through when we are the one being empathetic or empathic. It's really hard to kind of say, okay, all I need to do is be present and say, I'm here.
Right. Which will bring us to our challenge today.
Yeah.
So I think the big thing is, you don't have to look far right now to find stressors in people's lives. Just show up for people. Your
Just be
partner.
present.
Just be present.
Yeah.
And I challenge you to do that this week.
And here's the thing, your brain is going to scream, like, do something, do
Right.
something.
It doesn't
And-
feel intuitive.
And all you need to do is to say, okay, thanks, brain. I am doing something.
Right.
And just kind of breathe and
I'm here.
just be there. Yep. So, practice some empathy for your relationship to be the calm in the storm.
That's right. Bye, guys.
Have a good one.